Hi, I'm Shelly and welcome to my channel, Shelly's Good Vibes. I am a vibrational practitioner, a lover of spiritual knowledge, and I am a teacher. I have created this channel so I can share what I've learned along my journey and provide viewers with information about a variety of different holistic modalities that you can try out for yourself to see if they work in your life. Every week, I hope to introduce you to a different way that you can align your mind, body, and soul so that you too can live a high vibrational life. So, welcome. This week, I want to introduce you to the philosophy of Ayurveda and the 5 elements. I will briefly describe what Ayurveda is and why knowing about the 5 elements are important to your health and well-being. So I also want to explain how the Ayurvedic practices has helped me in my life and how to bring this practice into your daily life. I personally believe that when it comes to a person's well-being, one size doesn't fit all. A person has to examine what approach is best for them and to follow their inner guidance. And I personally tend to follow the Eastern medicine approach to wellness because it favors a more holistic way of healing the body and it views the body as a whole. Whereas Western medicine takes a more conventional approach and tries to find an immediate cure for the symptom or the issues a person may be having. Nevertheless, finding out what works and doesn't work is all a matter of trial and error in both practices. So what has helped me choose the best route is really educating myself. I believe the more you know about your options, the more you know about different healing modalities, the more you'll tune in to your own body and the better off you'll be in determining what is the best care for you, not just you, but even your own family. And really, I chose Ayurveda as a healing practice because of the holistic principles and because it's the oldest medical system that has been practiced in India for more than 3,000 years. And I really love their concepts. I love that I can have on-the-spot rituals and practices and implement them effectively into my life. And I've also come to understand the ways my life can be in or out of balance, either physically, emotionally, and even mentally. And really, honestly, most importantly, Ayurveda allows me to have a clearer understanding about my health and how to take control of my health when it comes to eating properly, noticing my feelings, noticing my body type, noticing what is influencing my habits and how to correct them or how to be in balanced mode, both masculine or feminine, or how to balance the elements in my body so that I can be my best self every day. So, what is Ayurveda? Well, Ayurveda is composed of the Sanskrit term Ayu, meaning duration of life, and Veda, which means knowledge. And Ayurveda's principles and philosophy is known as the science of life. And their concepts promote health and well-being of a person through a delicate balance between mind, body, and soul. And this balance is achieved with the right diet for your body type, as well as incorporating things like essential oils, which is my very favorite, medicinal herbs, or knowing about the energies of the 5 elements. There is really so much to learn when it comes to Ayurvedic practices, but today I really want to concentrate on the 5 elements. So what is so important about the 5 elements? The 5 elements help us to keep us free from disease, and it helps to reconnect us to the natural rhythms of life so that we can feel a greater sense of wholeness within. And it's very important to remember that each of us is unique and that we all have different challenges when it comes to balancing these elements. We can either have an excess or a deficiency in one or more of the element. So it's important to learn about how the body works and how to keep everything in check. And I usually notice when I am out of balance when I start to get sick, and also when I can't sleep, and when I'm having a huge emotional reaction to something that normally doesn't set me off. Hopefully, by the end of this video, you will be able to understand a little bit more about Ayurvedic practices and especially the elements and how to incorporate either meditation, yoga, mudras, and how to implement this into your daily life. So, what are the 5 elements and why do they play an important role in your health? Well, think about these 5 elements as the building blocks of the entire universe. These building blocks are flowing energy, such as matter. But what makes up matter? Matter is concentrated particles and waves of energy, and this energy is the substance that makes up the 5 elements. Just think, if we are a part of the universe, then everything we say and do is connected to a bigger whole. And in essence, if we are the microcosm of the macrocosm, then our whole body is holy, divine, and grand, and really an important part of this universe, of this planet. Everything that we say or do, like I said earlier, has purpose. If these elements were created for a purpose and they are inside us, then we need to tap in and know, what are these elements doing for us? How do we recognize when these elements are in balance, when they're out of balance, and how to treat them? And really, what is it all about? Why were we created with these elements? Well, here are the 5 elements: earth, water, fire, air, and space, or ether, and some like to call it spirit. I would like to cover each one of these elements by showing a simple chart and how they correlate to our body and what contributing aspects they offer. So the earth is abundance. It's the solid foundation. It's fertility. It's nurturing. It's beginning and endings. And it's a feminine property. And within our body, this represents our bones, our flesh, our skin, and our tissues. So now I want to talk about the water element. The water element is the continual movement and flexibility of our mind and body. It's really our emotions that we need to be fluid with, because our emotions rise and fall, and we need to get to a balanced place where our emotions are not an immediate reaction to a problem, that we could allow ourselves to tap into our subconscious and really tune into our psychic powers, our intuition. This element is a feminine element, and the areas of the body that it controls or stimulates is the lymphatic system, the circulation in our fluids, within our joints, and it really is all about just going with the flow. So next is the fire element. This fire element is very powerful. It's about creation. It's about destroying and transforming. It's about the solar plexus, about strength and life force and purifying and even being protective. This is a very masculine property. It's about taking that creative intuition that you have and manifesting it, putting it into action and watching your creation transform into bigger and better things. And within the body, this is all about metabolism and digestion. It's when you come up with the creative ideas, and those ideas are stirring and stirring, and you cannot make up your mind. That is the fire part that's coming through from your solar plex to help you manifest and that driving force to get things done. So the fire element is the element that I always feel the most within my solar plexus. It's when I'm thinking about things that I need to do, and sometimes when it's stuck, it's when I am just repeating mistakes over and over again, and I don't have the strength or the courage to transform those fears into a positive learning lesson. All right, now we move on to the air element. And air is all about new life. It's the power of the mind. It's communication. It's movements of the body. It's mobility. It's expansive, and it's gentle, formless, and it's our intelligence. It's the beginning of our breath and what we bring out into the atmosphere. It's also a masculine property because, again, you're working with the power of your voice. You're working with manifesting and putting out into the world who you are and letting it go and flow and move in any direction. So the air element is all about, again, kinetic energy, potential energy. It's all about touch and the experience. And of course, it's about the breath, the precious breath that we breathe in from the earth and how we exhale what is no longer needed within our body. So I am an air sign, and part of the air sign is working on the throat chakra, speaking up and expressing your truth, living your truth, and being brave enough to express yourself in positive ways without reacting, being proactive without being reactive. So air is just an abundance of possibilities. Okay, and now we are on the last element, space, ether, or sometimes people call it spirit. And this is infinity. This is pure energy and unlimited potential. This is the bridge between the physical and the spiritual aspect of ourselves. It's associated with our consciousness, the attraction and aversion of what is going on around us and within us. It's properties of just pure lightness, awareness, boundless and limitless. It's the freedom to move and express and just to be yourself. And this element of space just fills in all the elements. It's noticing the space between the breaths as well as the space around our body. So that is pretty much it for the 5 elements. Now I'd like to discuss the different ways that you can bring the 5 elements into your life. The first one I suggest is doing mudras. And mudras are described as gestures, attitudes, or symbols expressed through the hands, the body, or even the face. And the mudra opens up and moves the electrical currents or the bioenergy within the body. And the benefits of mudras are it's using your own electrical system, your own bioenergy to heal yourself. It really helps the endocrine system. So one of the ways is that you can use your thumb is always the charger, and this is the energy of the fire element because it transforms, it moves, it creates. The left hand represents the right side of your body, and the right hand represents the left side of your body. So, for example, by holding your thumb for each seconds on your hand, you can boost your stomach and your spleen energy and harmonize a plethora of symptoms that may occur in those areas that are perhaps out of balance. By moving through each finger, you can help release a broad range of issues. And the best part is that you can do this anytime, anywhere. So sometimes when I'm really stressed or I can't breathe, I start relaxing and just pinching each finger for about 10 seconds while I just breathe in and just concentrate and say some positive mantras while I hold and even counting to 10 silently in your head and moving through each finger. This is very helpful. When my kids are sick and not feeling well, I take their hands and it's kind of a little hand massage. You move the energy by warming up your hands and getting that blood flow to circulate, and then I just stop and pause and I pull up the energy within the thumb, and I just hold, and I just tell them to breathe with me. It's like the 5-finger breath, but you're holding your index finger and your thumb on your thumb and taking deep, slow breaths, about 10 seconds each. And you just see how you feel. Sometimes I feel so much better, and sometimes I have to do it a second time around. So experiment with that and see how that helps you. And if you notice any changes in your attitude or your energy levels, or just to relax you and release those stress hormones. So I also forgot to mention that the 5 elements are actually in each part of your finger. So when you're doing your mantras, you're sending that electrical energy throughout your whole body. And that energy goes in the flow of like a figure 8. There is ascending and descending, and it flows up and around, and then when it crosses over, those are through the chakras, and it's also in the middle of your body. So the energy flows up and around, down, and then it circulates up and around your feet. And when you touch each one of these fingers and hold it, you're activating those energy meridians, those energy flows. And so the thumb element is fire, and this is the emotion of worry. And the organs that are associated or activated in this thumb is the stomach and the spleen. And then moving on to the index finger, this is the air element, and this is where the emotion of fear is stored. And the bladder and the kidney is also associated with the pointer finger or the index finger. And then the middle finger is the space element, and this is the emotion of anger, and where our anger is usually stored is in the gallbladder and the liver. So it's very important that you're eating the right foods and drinking lots of water, allowing the gallbladder and the liver to be cleansed and cleared up, as well as the bladder and the kidney. And then the ring finger is the earth element, and this is where we have our emotion of sadness, our woe, our depression, and our loneliness. And this is the organs of the lungs and the large intestine, where we process our food and break down our food. And then the pinky is the element of water, sorry. And this is where we have our small intestine and our heart. And the emotion is trying too hard and overthinking and not allowing the movement of thoughts or emotions to flow through you. You hold on to them, and you get wrapped up in the drama, I guess you could say, of life. So on your 5 fingers, on both hands, fire, air, space, earth, and water. It's on both hands. That's why the mudras are so important, and depending on what mudra you express and what you say, yeah. But anyways, when you express this, you're sending out that electrical energy throughout your whole body. And when you do mudras, it's recommended that you do it for at least 40 minutes every day for at least 30 days. If you don't have time, again, sometimes, like I said, if I'm short on time, just activating each one of those energy centers and holding on to the tips of your fingers is a really good, not only relaxation, but you're holding that energy there and you're concentrating on releasing those blocks that are in your energy system. So some of the chakras are also related to the 5 elements. The 5 elements are go along with the first 5 chakra centers within our bodies. So the root chakra is associated with the earth element. And again, remember, if you don't remember about the chakra is all about grounding, stability, where you hold your belief systems, and it's also about financial security and just where and being balanced, being connected to the earth. And so the earth element helps with that. They work together. And some of the emotions that get trapped into the root center that are associated with the element of earth, sorry, I almost lost my train of thought, is grief and feeling unsupported. When you're insecure about your body, when you're insecure about life, and you become depressed and upset over it, this is the blockage in the root center and the earth element. And remember, it is also the ring finger. So tapping into the element of earth, concentrating on the root chakra, and holding your pinky will help alleviate and release some of those blocks. I like to listen to certain types of music to help this, and one of my favorites is shamanic drumming. I love shamanic drumming and the didgeridoo, so I usually ground myself while visualizing roots coming out from the bottom of my feet, going down into earth while listening to shamanic music. Moving up now to the sacral chakra, and the sacral chakra is associated with water. This is emotion. So a sacral chakra is all about emotions, creativity, connecting relationships. And so water is all about to moving through that, being fluid, being flexible, understanding different points of view, getting around those roadblocks. And the trapped emotions that are sometimes in that area is you're frustrated, you're overly compensating for something that you really want to do. It's the pinky finger that is water, and this is again where you hold your emotions of overthinking, of getting caught up in your own dialogue. And the way you can release some of that is squeezing onto the pinky, listening to a harp. A harp is very pretty. A frequency of 417 helps to release some of the blocks in the small intestine, open up the heart, and it's the note D. So if you are a music lover, find music that has the harp playing in it, the note D, and that'll help alleviate some of that pain, that emotional pain, those hard relationships that you just seem to can't get over. So that is what I recommend for the sacral chakra and the water element. So the solar plexus is associated with the fire element. Both of them are the power source, the igniter of will, the part where you break down the structures, the belief structures that no longer serve you, so you can rise up and be your true authentic self. I love the fire energy and the solar plexus. I struggle with this one the most because of standing up for my own beliefs and breaking down those fear-based beliefs around money, about relationships, and really just removing all that I thought was in my best interest, all that I have been taught from my parents and friends and society. It's burning down structures. It's letting go of what no longer serves you. So that fire energy is really important. It helps ignite that power source within you, so you have the courage to stand up for what you believe in instead of falling back on what you've been told to believe in. So my solar plexus gets really revved up when I am challenged with people in my family, about religion, about politics. This area gets really stirred up. So also it's important that when this area gets stirred up, that the spleen and the stomach is able to relax and empty out all of those food particles and all of that energy of the mental and the emotional aspects of what is going on in your life. And the feelings of worry and helplessness, because we are not helpless. We are not empowered when we are stuck in worry, when we are stuck in um, failure. So a way to alleviate this stuck energy and to really kind of put out fires, but really have that good transformational like gusto that fire is well known for, that breaks down the fear, is holding on to your thumb and having mudras to stir up that energy and balance that energy, that masculine energy, and balance it with the feminine energy, which is the water and the earth energy. And also to listen to calming music like strings, like the guitar, and the note E, and that is my note. I love the note E. And so that is what I recommend for the solar plexus, and let's see, and listening to strings like the guitar, and really concentrating on releasing some of those blocks of worry and helplessness. So that fire energy, that warrior like energy, can come through and ignite that spark that you need to feel confident and more secure within your mind, body, and soul. So now we're moving up to the chest area, the heart chakra, and this is associated with the element of air. This is where our fear resides, our hopelessness, our bitterness. We carry that in our heart. And the air energy is helping us to lift that. That is why we breathe in fresh, new air, so we can release those stuck emotions of bitterness, of anguish, of fear, of resentment. And this is associated with the index finger. So holding on to that index finger and taking deep breaths in, allowing that energy to go to the bladder, to go to the kidney, to release that bitterness that we're holding on to, release that feeling of being hopeless. And also listening to musical instruments, as in the flute and the note F. This is very good for your body to release and renew and allow the flow of newness to come in, so then you can process this a lot easier instead of holding on to those hurt emotions and going through in your mind all the what ifs, the could ifs, and the what ifs, and really just concentrating on the heart and letting the air come in to fill your lungs with self-compassion, with compassion to others, with grace. And the mudras, bringing in the mudras and sitting there and really just allowing the movement to happen within you. Just being in the moment is very important for the heart to have self-realization that it's moment by moment that things happen. They don't stay with us forever unless the mind gets involved, and then you're stuck in that mind versus heart battle. I always tell myself the truth was in the heart, the thought is the lie, because the mind will talk you out of anything. So it's very important that you take those deep breaths in and let the air come into your body, and hold your breath with those positive affirmations, with those positive thoughts, and then exhale that air, releasing that tension, releasing that stress out into space so it no longer resides within your body. So lastly, I want to talk about the element of space within the throat chakra. And remember, space is that openness. It's formless. It is the connection between the physical and the spiritual. And within the throat chakra, that is our unique expression, our unique frequency that we bring out into the world. It's very important. When the throat chakra is suppressed, it becomes sore. That's why we have a sore throat. It's also where the air goes in and resides and goes throughout our whole body. We breathe in the air through our mouth or through our nose, and if that is clogged, then we are not living up to our own expectations, and that we're living up to someone else's expectations. And our throat chakra can be blocked when we are holding back what we truly want to express and say out into the world or to another person or even to ourselves, when we bad talk others, when we talk bad about ourselves. The throat chakra can get blocked very easily in that space. Space, again, is all about the ether, the spirit. And when you are blocking the flow of energy to be released out into the world through your voice, that's not good. Your gallbladder gets all full of gunk, and your liver can't expel all of that bile, and it builds up in unsafe ways and unhealthy ways, and it just is not good. So again, the middle finger is where we press and release the energy centers and release the meridians to help the gallbladder, to help the liver, to help the throat and the thyroid be in healthy, vibrant, and high frequency vibration. If you want to keep your throat chakra open and bring in that space element, that ether element that connects the spiritual and the physical, listen to the note G, and also listen to the frequency of 741. And throughout some research that I did, that the musical instrument, the cello, is really good for the gallbladder and the liver. So find music, find songs and stuff with the note G, instrument, cello within the orchestra, and sit, meditate, and listen to these frequencies to help bring in a healthy throat chakra and help the gallbladder and the liver. And also the mudras. Make sure that you research some of the mudras for the space element, and as you are visualizing being out in space, being one with the universe while listening to your music and doing the mudras, hopefully your throat will feel great and you will be able to express yourself in loving, positive ways. So the last thing that you can do to bring in the 5 elements into your inner core, or to be aware of these 5 elements, is to do any guided meditation that helps you focus on these 5 elements and bring them not only into your awareness, but bring them and focus on them within your body. So your mind is listening to a guided meditation. You're having the thoughts and the feelings of those elements within your core, and then you come back from that meditation feeling grounded, feeling revitalized, and really truly connected to the whole of the universe and the whole of the universe that resides within you. So I really hope that you've got some information to help you bring in the elements, what the elements are, and how important they are within your daily life. If you have any questions or any thoughts about what we just discussed, please leave a comment below and I will try to answer your question as best as I can. I am not an expert when it comes to Ayurvedic practices. Again, I just research them and incorporate them into my daily life and see how it works. Just remember that everything in life takes practice and dedication. If something doesn't work today, it might work tomorrow. You just have to give things a fighting chance when it comes to exploring the world around you, and especially exploring the world within in you. I don't pretend to have all the answers. I don't. Whatever I don't know, I try to research and educate myself so then I can make better decisions for me and my family. I hope the best for you. I hope that some of this information has been beneficial, and that if you have any questions, please ask, and I will try my best to find the answer for you. Again, I hope that you learned a little bit about the Ayurvedic practice, about some mudras, about the elements, and about the chakras and how it all comes together to help you be your best self. Have a great day. Spend some time outside, grounding, connecting to the earth, connecting to the five elements, and breathe in that fresh air. Bring it into your lungs and be thankful for your life. Be thankful for your body. Thanks again, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.